is a CBS News special report. I'm Scott Pelley in Washington. Good evening. President Obama is about to make a rare address to the nation from the Oval Office. The subject is terrorism. He's expected to tell Americans shaken by the attack in San Bernardino what he is doing to keep the nation safe. Tashfeen Malik, a Pakistani, pledged her allegiance to ISIS before she and her American husband, Saeed Farouk, opened fire on his co-workers at a holiday party. 14 people were killed, the deadliest terror attack in the U.S. since 9/11. The president met yesterday with his national security team, and he concluded his weekly radio address yesterday with a vow that Americans will not be terrorized. The address tonight will be only the third from the Oval Office for Mr. Obama, a sign of the importance that he is giving the issue. Major Garrett is at the White House for us. Major?
Scott, the White House knows the nation is on edge. It's easy to understand why. The San Bernardino attack was completely different. Hatched in secret, it was conceived without U.S. law enforcement having any awareness about it, and inspired by ISIS. In that light, the president will describe the military campaign against ISIS in Iraq and Syria and the steps Congress can take to improve vigilance and safety. Importantly for this president, it will include a call for more gun control.
Major, thank you. And here's the president.
On Wednesday, 14 Americans were killed as they came together to celebrate the holidays. They were taken from family and friends who loved them deeply. They were white and black, Latino and Asian, immigrants and American-born, moms and dads, daughters and sons. Each of them served their fellow citizens, and all of them were part of our American family. Tonight I want to talk with you about this tragedy, the broader threat of terrorism, and how we can keep our country safe. The FBI is still gathering the facts about what happened in San Bernardino, but here's what we know. The victims were brutally murdered and injured by one of their co-workers and his wife. So far, we have no evidence that the killers were directed by a terrorist organization overseas or that they were part of a broader conspiracy here at home. But it is clear that the two of them had gone down the dark path of radicalization, embracing a perverted interpretation of Islam that calls for war against America and the West. They had stockpiled assault weapons, ammunition, and pipe bombs. So this was an act of terrorism designed to kill innocent people. Our nation has been at war with terrorists since Al-Qaeda killed nearly 3,000 Americans on 9/11. In the process, we've hardened our defenses, from airports to financial centers to other critical infrastructure. Intelligence and law enforcement agencies have disrupted countless plots here and overseas and worked around the clock to keep us safe. Our military and counterterrorism professionals have relentlessly pursued terrorist networks overseas, disrupting safe havens in several different countries, killing Osama bin Laden, and decimating Al-Qaeda's leadership. Over the last few years, however, the terrorist threat has evolved into a new phase. As we've become better at preventing complex, multifaceted attacks like 9/11, terrorists turn to less complicated acts of violence like the mass shootings that are all too common in our society. It is this type of attack that we saw at Fort Hood in 2009, in Chattanooga earlier this year, and now in San Bernardino. And as groups like ISIL grew stronger amidst the chaos of war in Iraq and then Syria, and as the internet erases the distance between countries, we see growing efforts by terrorists to poison the minds of people like the Boston Marathon bombers and the San Bernardino killers. For 7 years, I have confronted this evolving threat each and every morning in my intelligence briefing. And since the day I took this office, I have authorized U.S.